Hi, I'm George Lucas, director of Bald, the making of THX 1138. You ever forget something real big? Well, I sure as gosh darn did. I forgot to put any wars in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. And that's why I felt obliged to release a feature-length pilot episode of an animated kids' TV series in the movie theaters. You're welcome. You stuck with me, Sky Guy. It's the Clone Wars Watchalong.
I like that. There's a last minute check to see if that title was right.
Well, it's actually it's the Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
What a terrible,
But
terrible
even
thing.
looking at it in my notes, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how can you have the Star Wars, the Clone Wars?
This was released in theaters, you said.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Trivia point number one.
Yeah, I was unaware.
And well, I still don't know if I've discovered a good reason for this either.
Uh-huh.
Because it didn't help. Clone Wars, the TV series, had to overcome the fact that it began in theaters.
Mm.
So I don't understand what the rationale was behind it. Still don't.
I think you still have a leg up on me.
Well, anyway, here we are. We're
ladies and gentlemen,
and R2's gone already. There we go. Put him back on the nose of Dio. There we go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's time for another watch along on the Everything Sequel podcast. As always, the criteria, Tom. We gotta we gotta have a it was released. When are we releasing this? The 15th?
Yeah, August 15th.
Yeah.
Yes. August 15th is the release date. So again, they're trying to cash in on that summer moviegoer who might not be discerning enough to know that they're not going in to see a real Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't good enough for May.
Well, yeah, that says it all. Then I think that it's this late in the summer because this is fodder for the unsuspecting moviegoer.
Mm. And of course, we always pick a sequel that's a little hard to quantify.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. And this is perfect because this movie was released theatrically.
Mm-hmm.
Yet
again, did not know that.
Nonetheless, it is a feature-length pilot episode for a TV series.
So that was the plan from the start. This was going to launch the animated TV series.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think as we step through it, you'll see that these were clearly written as 3 separate episodes as well.
Awesome.
We're back in a young Indiana Jones situation. We're back to one of our previous watch-alongs, so you can really see where the episodes were supposed to end.
Excellent.
Within the frame of the movie itself. The other thing that makes it difficult to sort of categorize in the Star Wars canon is this was made after the prequel trilogy, and yet is set between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So, as if they haven't fucked with the timeline enough, they're creating more discont.
It's not a good sign when they're doing the things we do when we pitch sequels.
Right, exactly. As if there wasn't enough discontinuity, they want to create another imbalance between release and chronological order.
Wow.
But the other reason that we're here is because we're continuing our coverage of the Skywalker Saga over on the main feed, and we're here continuing our coverage of the illegitimate offspring of the Skywalker Saga on the Watchalongs. So this is the
congratulations, George. Congratulations, George. You've got a bastard.
And we're now at the point where we're covering the prequels on the main feed, and this is our first prequel-specific unsuccessful spin-off film. in the Star Wars universe.
Fantastic.
Because we covered the Star Wars Holiday Special, which is original trilogy era. Ewoks, which is the 2 Ewok movies, which are directly after.
Right.
And Solo, which of course is in the time frame of the Disney sequels.
Indeed.
So this is the first chance we've got to cover a prequel specific illegitimate child of the Skywalker Saga.
How illegitimate would you consider it to be?
Because
as always, you've watched it already, and I have not.
Right.
That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how we do it. Well, in 2008, I would have said that this all seemed inessential. Watching it, a couple of days ago, and now rewatching it again today, this is what you're about to see is the basis of modern Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
This is the introduction of Ahsoka, who is about to get her own titular Disney Plus series.
Right.
It's directed by Dave Filoni, who is in charge of all the Disney Plus TV Star Wars series. This is really
more so than Favreau.
Well, he and Favreau are they're both the creators of the Mandalorian. Filoni is behind the Clone Brothers, the Clone Wars. It's nothing to do with the Clone Brothers. Clone Wars, and I think they split duties on most things.
How funny would it be to get the Coen brothers involved in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the last challenge, isn't it, for the indie filmmaker?
Yeah,
see if they can translate that too. I think had they had a conversation with Rian Johnson about that, they probably wouldn't even attempt it. He'd be like, nah, it's not worth it in the end. I can't go on the internet anymore.
Yeah, just make a movie about knives. So much easier.
Also, the idea of Star Wars as a viable TV series begins here as well. I mean, up to this point, we'd only had the Droids cartoon and the Ewok cartoon, and the Star Wars Holiday Special.
What an illustrious list.
I have nothing but good things to say about the Droids cartoon, but I don't think in the public's mind Star Wars was a viable TV property until somewhere in the run of Clone Wars. And that all begins here. So I think, how illegitimate is it? I think right now it's as legitimate as any other Star Wars. Back in 2008, I wouldn't have given you the same answer. I would have said that this was kind of sub fan fiction.
Okay. All right.
But right now it's at the heart of everything that's happening in Star Wars.
Right. It's the birth.
And of course, Clone Wars goes on to be a very successful series.
Do you like the series? Because I've
never seen it.
Okay, neither have I. But I've heard scuttlebutt that it's very good. But I think there's two portions, and one is better than the other, or something like that.
Well,
boy, did I come prepared.
Well, Clone Wars, I mean, there's a predecessor to this Clone Wars as well, which is the short 2D animation made by the Samurai Jack people, which did come out, in chronological order. And then basically that was rebooted into a long form 3D animated series. And the other criteria we have that we pick films that are known to be hard to watch and need some hand-holding, some support. And this is the lowest rated, lowest reviewed, lowest box office of any Star Wars movie that's ever been released theatrically.
My.
And even you said
what percent?
I don't know. I don't look those things up. I didn't need to. Literally,
Sorry,
I went
that was my job.
No, no. Normally, it should be my job, but I just went online and was like, my suspicion is this has got the lowest of everything, and then the first thing that comes up is like, so was the Clone Wars has the lowest rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the lowest box office. I was like, okay, my job's done for me.
Is
But
there
you
an
said
actual war in this Clone Wars?
yeah. Well, I mean, we're essentially picking up from the end of Clones.
Okay.
So we're the Clone Wars. Begun these Clone Wars have, and um, and so we're in the I don't know the early stages of the war, I guess. This because I don't know if they had an overall plan going in about how long the series would last, but it's like it's a couple. Well, it's exactly 3 battles because it's 3 episodes of television. So, um, and it's interesting you mentioned the scuttlebutt that Clone Wars is very good. However, even fans of Clone Wars, the TV series, do not like this movie.
Okay, yeah, right.
So, and I think it's been established that everything about Clone Wars got more sophisticated as it went on. Because I told you when I was saying don't look for the movie, not the TV series on Disney Plus when you were signing up. I was like, look for the cheapest looking animation.
I was just gonna say, you said look for the cheapest animation.
And so this is the CG animation here is very basic.
When did The Simpsons go digital? Are we in that area? 2008? Like, does that have something to do with it? Where maybe technology got to a point once the series started that they could do it better and cheaper.
For some reason in my head, 2008 is the kind of digital switch over. The year when HDTVs kind of and broadcast television kind of
right
over. I think that's got to be part of it because it's Lucasfilm who are at the cutting edge of these things. So
at the cutting edge of everything but good.
And we've gone from hand drawn. I mean, obviously, I presume I don't know for certain, but I presume the original Clone Wars cartoons were 2D, but I'm sure they were produced digitally. But this is kind of 3D. This is kind of a 3-dimensional computer animation.
All right.
So it's an interesting one because it was a low point, and now it's a low point that informs everything.
Yeah, that's super weird, isn't it? But is that,
I guess it just shows what we've been saying about Star Wars.
Is it in mass a low point, or is it only for the obsessives? Because I was aware that this existed, movie, but it's on the peripheral of my knowledge of, like I said, I didn't know it was theatrically released. So whenever it came out, I just, it didn't matter. And so I just wonder, in the public eye, does most of the public not even really know much about it? Because I consider myself a big Star Wars fan, and yet it wasn't really on my radar.
But this is the problem, isn't it? Like as Star Wars fan, I consider myself a Star Wars fan as well. But as a Star Wars fan, I'm starting to realize that I need to have watched this stuff in order to keep up with new Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
And it's for the past few, probably since The Mandalorian, I've been like, okay, so I can still follow it without having watched Clone Wars or reading the comics or any of the kind of expanded universe texts. And now it's getting to the point, where there's basically a series named after a character who only exists only existed in animated form before.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I guess that's the tipping point, isn't it? It's like I have to know this, and I really hate having to turn to something else to enjoy what it is I'm watching.
Sure.
And Star Wars for a while has been it you could follow it, but it's if you've seen more around it, it's enriched, right? But you could still get by not seeing anything around it.
Yeah.
And I think we've gone past the tipping point now where it's just gonna be nonsensical. It's just gonna be, jibber jabber, unless
Mr.
we
T
know what
style. Stop your jibber jabber.
Unless we know what it's all referring to.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to be Star Wars post Ahsoka is gonna rely on a kind of cultural capital of certainly Clone Wars, probably Rebels, what the Resistance, is there one called Resistance or something like that, but more than just the 9 movies,
right?
And then presumably once they run out of that, we'll have to read all the spin-off novels and comics and things like that to understand what's happening.
Fucking boo.
Yeah, I mean that's a prediction, but I think that's been on the cards for a while now. Like they've been quite tentative in working in characters who aren't from any, like, specifically from any of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to the point where they've managed to do it successfully enough where people get excited when they see Ahsoka in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Remember that backdoor pilot episode they had?
Yeah.
With Ahsoka. That was like, okay, so people.
But when I was watching that, I never felt like I needed to see this to, gauge any choices that character is making. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just getting the sense that it's going to become important.
But I get what you're saying, yeah, about a tipping point. That
there'll be a tipping point, and then people like us will be left behind because we won't be able to follow it in the way that people who have seen what led up to this have,
mm-hmm.
or will be able to. But well, it's not all doom and gloom because I've got a game for you.
Okay.
So I suspect you might not enjoy this. Because you know how high my tolerance is for prequel related entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure I enjoyed this at all. So
I'm not sure I like an hour and 40 minutes.
Exactly, yeah. You need those first 3 episodes in one, right? Just to so should you not be enjoying yourself, I want to give you a game to play, and maybe the people watching on YouTube
all right, then,
can also participate in this game. So while you're watching, I want you to think which characters are voiced by the original movie actors out of all the characters, because there are some vocal performances by original cast members in this, and then a lot that aren't. So I want you to see if you can figure out who is the real actor and who is an impersonation. And that works well both ways, because there are some very good impersonations of those actors as well. So sometimes it is really difficult to tell.
Okay.
But I think it's a good game. I'll tell you at least that there's 3.
3 original or 3 replaced?
3 original, and the rest are replaced. So,
right.
Let's see if by the end you can figure out who the 3 are.
Okay. I like this game.
I don't have any prizes or anything, but the prize is you got through watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
All right, fine.
And that's it, really. The other weird part of this is, our recording timeline is different from our release timeline, but we're pretty much at the point chronologically when these events occur in terms of when we're recording the episode. Right. So at least we're going chronologically, even if
they're not.
Yeah. We've stuck to to a linear timeline, at least.
Oh, I like it.
So it's interesting.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching this on Disney Plus, so prepare, get ready. Like Tom said, find the one with the worst animation, and that's the one. It's not the series, it's the movie.
It's not the series, it's the movie. Yeah, let's dive in. Let's
Are you
delay this
ready?
enough. Let's cut to the chase more than we do on any of our actual Star Wars movie episodes.
Yeah, right.
It'd be another hour talking like this if it was a main feed episode. But for an animated interquel between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith,
we'll shave.
We can cut to the chase.
We'll shave a few hours off.
It's funny. I remember a few hours. Literally, I remember you saying off mic before we started the prequel episode. You were like, "I'm not talking about those movies for 2 hours at a time." And then by the time we get to record, you're like, "I've never taken so many notes."
I know. Why do I have so many pages of notes?
But yeah, this is you wouldn't have as much to say about something like this, I don't think.
But we'll find out in real time.
We'll find out, yeah. There's plenty to say, but I don't know if it has the depth and variety of a actual Star Wars movie. In fact, I know it doesn't.
And we'll do a countdown. I forget, do we go on one or after one?
We 3, 2, 1, then plus play. So after one.
After one. Okay. Having a real Lethal Weapon argument.
We are.
Are you ready?
Yep, I think so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. What's this thing called? The Clone Wars?
Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Terrible title. Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
You don't like the prefix
No.
Star Wars in Star Wars movies.
I really don't. It's offensive.
Yeah, because it's a retcon, really, isn't it? Because
it's not true.
Empire never had it, Jedi never had it.
Exactly.
Star Wars is just called Star Wars.
It's a total retcon. It's the same to me as changing Raiders of the Lost Ark to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's offensive.
It is it is absolutely offensive.
It was big Raiders of the Lost Ark.
If anything, you should change. You should be Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then Temple of Doom, because Temple of Doom is the prequel.
True. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It sounds like, you know, the world's worst poet. Like a beat poet on the street came up with this title.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars, hibbity bibbity bop.
Here we go. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Ready, Tom?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
We start with some battle audio.
I'm already hearing audio.
Yeah.
No, you got to watch your left.
Overcompensating.
Yeah. I mean, that's something different than any other Star Wars movies.
That isn't.
That's different. Wow.
It's sort of the Star Wars music with sort of the title conventions.
Yeah.
There's a title moving away from you.
Oh.
Well, the crawl has to be done in audio because of the target audience.
Yeah, but we've got like a real serial, voiceover going.
At least they keep it within the conventions of the matinee serial, because this sounds like a real old-timey announcer. No explanation for this octopus ship, though.
His son? I'm sorry, who?
They just want to shoehorn in Jabba the Hutt. There's no reason why Jabba would get involved in any of this.
So there was a 3PO in his palace before 3PO?
Yeah. That's where he got the idea.
I don't think it's Sam Jackson.
Okay. That's the problem. Jabba owns the space lanes.
Of course he does.
This guy who runs crime in one town
on one planet. Oh, now it is sounding like him.
I see you'll go back and forth. I don't know why it has to be Obi-Wan and Anakin. It seems like they'd be the most in demand. I didn't think that the Republic Army looked exactly like the Empire.
I was going to just ask, when did this transition happen?
Yeah. Well, according to Sith, it happens in the last 10 seconds of that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, it happened decades before. There's R2-D2. And there's Anakin quoting Poltergeist 2.
Well, it's definitely not these two.
I love how you're just playing the game. No other comments. It's just you're fixated on the game. Cylons.
Hey.
We get some. This is a second string droid parade. We got the Cylons, and soon we'll see the H.G. Wells battle droids.
Yeah. Okay.
From Attack of the Clones. All the plagiarism robots.
Yeah, right. Oh, stormtroopers looked really nice right there. Petting R2-D2.
Well, they don't know that they're in the control of the Emperor, do they? We haven't got there yet.
Fair point. Fair point.
I don't know if that statement is necessarily true. That might just be headcanon. There's some serious continuity problems here, all revolving around haircuts. Because this is supposed to be straight after Attack of the Clones. They go to the barbers after the Battle of Geonosis.
Wouldn't you?
I don't know how Anakin turns that, blows out that pig, that little pigtail thing into that look.
Oh, the useless robots are still around.
Oh, Mike. These robots are even more useless than you could possibly imagine in this iteration.
And so it's important to remember that all those stormtroopers are Jango Fett.
It is. But they all have distinct personalities.
Yeah.
Which I guess you need to do because it's a TV series, or at least a pilot for a TV series.
Careful lads on the right, he said. Lads.
Yeah, there's some very casual terminology in this movie that I don't care for.
Makes me seem to think the stormtroopers are British.
Well, and they really lean into the Britishness of Obi-Wan. You'll see that.
Okay.
Later. Did you notice that the not stormtroopers, the Republic troopers, they fly now?
I did notice that because when he first said "follow my lead" or "follow me," I thought if I was a stormtrooper, I was gonna raise my hand and say, "I'm not a Jedi. I can't flip around and jump like you do."
But you know what that means, right? I can no longer blame J.J. Abrams for that.
No.
This is like 10 years.
Choke on it, Tom.
This is 10 years before they fly now.
Oh, I would say that's one of the same voices.
Oh yeah, battle droids don't count.
Okay.
Because that's just Peter Frampton pissing about with a vocoder. You feel like I do.
You're a Padawan learner. Wait, what's going on? Isn't he still his Padawan and Sith?
Yeah, by the way, this is all new information that either of them took on new students between the two films.
Right?
Look who it is.
Hey, I know her now.
I have to learn who she is now.
Yeah.
Well, kind of the emergency's passed, really.
Yeah. Seems like it's over.
It was all a misunderstanding.
He still has that big asshole energy.
Oh, yeah. Also, that look between them was like, we should give her own series.
Yeah.
It's like all the infrastructure of the Empire is already in place.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. Like what? This is like a day after the Battle of Geonosis.
Is it? Do we know that?
It's pretty close. Nothing significant happened before, like between then and now.
Hmm.
Well, disruption can only mean one thing, and it is once again invasion.
Disruption always means invasion.
It does. Oliver Ford Davis, he called it. Good old C.O. Bibble.
That sounded inappropriate.
There must be some mistake. Neither of us ever talk about this ever again.
Ever.
Oh, I lost R2 again. It doesn't make any sense. I'm with you, Anakin.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have time for this. I've got to become evil.
Yeah, I think it was the moment you slaughtered women and children that I thought, it's time you got a Padawan.
Yeah, exactly. Yoda thought it would do him so good. Man, the fucking Sith. Everything's always going according to plan.
You know what Yoda said? Always two there are, except when there are three.
I was just gonna say, who are these people?
I don't know. So Dooku's got an apprentice too. I don't know what there's a Sith. So there's a Sith Lord, a Sith apprentice, and then like a pet. I don't know what the third level of it is. What?
I don't like the way he said that. Who's the youngling?
How would that conversation ever happen?
What are they, best friends, these two?
In what context would they ever have that conversation?
Well, under Yoda's rules, she should be too old.
He was 9. I mean, I don't know how fast her species ages, but
she looks older than a baby.
Older than 9. Especially the way everyone keeps hitting on her.
Yeah. Good comeback.
And I've fought exactly 1.5 battles.
Is he Australian?
Well, it might be Tamara Morrison. Who knows? I will not be drawn on who is the original actor.
What is going on?
This guy's like Newt Gunray, but they've kind of Picasso'd the racism, so you can't tell which ethnicity is being aimed at.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's racist, but I don't know against
but I'm not
which
sure
race.
Against whom.
Apparently that rabbit droid is a recurring character that we just saw.
Oh.
Because he turns up in Book of Boba Fett, maybe? Thank you for that cricket analogy, Obi-Wan. I'm with her.
Rex?
Rex is that
guy?
Yeah. I think he's in Sith as well. He's a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like the captain of the...
He has a name?
Yeah. Which kind of disqualifies him from being a clone. Got to turn off those shield generators.
Yeah.
If I've learned anything from Return of the Jedi.
From any Star Wars movie.
I also thought that the whole point of Revenge of the Sith was that Anakin was not yet a master. And now in this movie, which is set before that, he has a Padawan.
He seems to be a master. That's what, yeah.
Does that mean you don't have to be a master to take a learner?
I don't know. I think I'm going to officially change my mind. I think it does. I think it is Sam.
You've got to the end of the movie. All
right. I'll keep thinking.
Yeah.
You just want me to change my mind again.
Or do I? I guarantee, even by this point, anyone who's watching this along with us is way more into our game than the movie itself. I think this game has backfired. It has a level of complexity that the movie just does not have. I think fast.
Yeah.
I can see things before they happen.
Why can't you? You're supposed to be a Jedi.
Oh, here we are, transparent bubble shields.
Yeah. Is it one of those you can walk through but not shoot through?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's even in this one, there's even another wrinkle to that contradiction.
Oh, no.
It's like the you're a camper, you must know the bear hunt song.
The bear hunt song.
Going on a bear hunt. No, you know that one? This is the Star Wars version of that. We can't go over it. We can't. Oh no, it's the opposite. Forget it. Apparently, you can hide under a barrel while it passes over you.
I guess so.
I guess Dave Filoni was like, well, it
What is it
never
being
made sense.
generated from?
The generator.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where's the generator?
It's behind them. So they can't get to the shield generator because the shield is in front of them. It's a catch-22 situation. Here we go. It's almost
the animation
as if
itself
clones...
isn't all that interesting, is it?
No, it's very basic.
Yeah.
Apparently it gets better, but a transparent bubble shield.
Yeah.
That's what you're statistically likely to run into in a prequel movie. You're never more than 2 feet away from a transparent bubble shield.
No, you're running in the wrong direction.
Jedi don't run? Aren't the Jedi famous for withdrawing from battle? Not in the prequels, they're not. They're the aggressors. Cylon. I guess the Cylons look like a combination of that battle droid and with the stormtrooper helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
That would make a Cylon. Obi-Wan is doing the Clone Wars all wrong because he's got an endless supply of clones to just put in front of him as a human shield. And he's like, no,
doing a lot of protecting of those clones.
Yeah, so like that's the point. They're dispensable. They're clones.
Infamous is what he should have said. When he's more than famous.
Maybe he was trying to say it in his impenetrable accent. I think he's supposed to be Scottish, but it could also be Eastern European. I'm not trying any of my tricks.
Me?
What tricks would...
What's a dirty... I don't consider it a dirty trick.
You don't need to tell me that I don't need to do any of my tricks.
From my point of view, it's not a dirty trick.
You don't need to tell me I don't need to do any tricks. I'm 20% more British than I was before.
Yeah. I'm surprised he said refreshments instead of tea.
As we say in my home world, it's just not cricket.
Yeah. That's not how we play bridge.
My impression of Alec Guinness has become Roger Moore.
I must warn you, I'm Roger Moore.
I must warn you, I've become Roger Moore in the last few minutes.
I'm going to say that's not Frank Oz.
Who knows?
You
don't let my laughter misguide you.
Oops.
Oh. New robots, who dis?
Yeah, right.
These ones look like they're built out of patio heaters. They saved the worst. They saved the worst for the animation.
They look like Coke cans that have come to life.
Exactly.
I love what an annoyed teenager she is.
He's turning into George W. Bush as well. You're either with us or against us. It's like, well, I'm clearly with you, but okay.
Keep fighting.
I'm about to be murdered by wine barrels. Now, yeah, so we in Phantom Menace, Jar Jar did Buster Keaton. Now Anakin's doing it.
Yeah, more or less. That's the secret to the useless droids.
That's
medic. No, just leave him there. Oh, it looks like he did.
Oh, sorry, I forgot for a minute that they were clones. Never mind.
Yeah.
Space tea. I'd love it if he did some real filibustering and like started reading from the Jedi sacred texts. And that's where Yoda
so long as I keep talking, you have to stand down.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like it. Obi-Wan I am.
Oops.
A lot of Jedi jumping in this one.
Yeah.
It's like, in fact, they go from Jedi jumping to full, like, Donald O'Connor walking up the wall. And by the way, we've become an empire.
I was going to say, by the way, we're the empire now. You're working with us, which is weird.
Yoda and the Clones. It's an Elton John's hit song.
Yeah.
That's basically, and that's visually quoting the end of Attack of the Clones. Well, Qui-Gon was reckless. It's reckless. You either have a reckless master, or you have a reckless
central
student.
On this side of the Jedis.
Yeah.
He flagged them down like they were a taxi.
I don't go south of the river.
I don't like the way she's looking at him.
Also, remember, in continuity, he's a married man as well.
That's true.
You forgot that, didn't you?
So did I. I absolutely did.
So did I. Already a better Jedi than you are.
Mm-hmm. Wild space. So that'll be episode 2, everyone.
Pretty much. I mean, you know, It's bad enough that they ask him to leave his mother. They ask to rescue the child of someone
right?
who
Who
condones
will end up
slavery.
trying to kill his son.
Yeah. The reason why why he grew up a slave. No, I'm not a Sith. I don't have long-range planning. I know by the time of Revenge of the Sith, he's let go of her.
Yeah. And
He's
everybody
never
else.
mentioned again.
And his legs and arms. He's going to let go of everything.
Except his metal hand.
Yeah.
Off into episode 2.
Here we
Guess
go.
where we are? Where could it possibly be?
What's her name?
Oh, the Twilight Girl? I don't know. Oh,
I guess it was the blue one. The blue one, when we first found out that Jabba's son was kidnapped, looked very concerned for him. Oh, that's terrible animation.
I love the fact that we've already had too many returns to Tatooine. We don't need another one that's never referred to in continuity.
Yeah. Heads.
It's so funny that sometimes they don't realize the possibilities of animation. You don't you should only do the head thing when all you have is like puppet heads left over. Right. In animation, you can literally do anything. It doesn't have to be a Rodian, a three-eyed guy.
Because I got those space lanes, bro.
Do you think they called it space lanes because they didn't want to say trade routes after the reaction to Phantom Menace? What's a way of saying trade routes without really saying it? Space lanes?
You don't know.
Good enough.
Maybe George wanted to go back to his American graffiti roots.
Oh, there you go. You remember that hit song, Cruising Down the Space Lane?
With a Wookiee by my side.
So I reckon this is precisely where episode 2 would have begun.
Yeah.
Or I'm saying would have begun. It does begin. Unlimited holograms. We're in animation now. We can have as many as we want.
It's not like the prequels are saving holograms.
No, but literally, now they're in animation, they have no excuse not to explain something through a hologram.
Look at this, another Jedi being an asshole.
Oh. I think it's not often you see two R2s together in the same shot.
Yeah.
Until you learn that lesson.
Yeah, right?
I won't take it from you.
Why don't you shut up?
Mobile like parking that. Spot ship.
Yeah.
This is where Obi-Wan got the idea to have the same ship in Revenge of the Sith a few years later. Do you think that droid was saying, Tatooine again?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you just need to put this into the coordinates because we go here so often.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to navigate there every time.
Luke said if there's a center of the universe, you're on the planet that's furthest from or whatever. I think this is the center of the universe. Yeah, actually.
That's the great plot twist of the Star Wars movies. Tatooine is in fact the exact center of the universe.
Well,
excuse me, there are some zombies behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that door closing means, except you don't because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, yeah. Do we get a rancor pit?
We'll have to see. Is that supposed to be the droid that's all in the corner of the
that they're pulling apart?
No, there's like one.
Might be.
There's like one in the corner that C-3PO goes, no, no.
Yeah.
No, it's not, because that would require forethought. So it's definitely not.
I don't know. The face looks familiar.
If it is, I'd appreciate that tenuous link to continuity.
Is that a day, or is it different?
Obi-Wan, just say 24 hours. No one knows what you're talking about. Let's get on the space lane and get out of here.
Are they going to become aggressive negotiations?
Is that they're surrounded by Enya? What
yeah,
is that
right.
Music. I see Enya over there.
Roger.
These fucking battle droids are hopeless. They can't even do chain of command without descending into comedy. Did you just call him boy?
Boy.
Why is the droid calling another droid boy?
Sounds racist.
Why is that droid younger than that other droid? I was going to say this is also 2008, so the popularity of parkour cannot be
denied,
underestimated. Yeah, in the jumping fetishes.
All right.
It's really, I find them really funny.
That's what counts as the joke.
I think it's really well done. They genuinely make me laugh. I don't know if they're, but I still don't know if that's the idea.
If that's on purpose.
Yeah. Did you ever think that there would be a movie that would make the battle droids more stupid than they are in Phantom Menace?
Right.
Paco.
Yeah.
It is 2008.
We got a centipede machine.
Yeah. That's a TATA. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's total
called
Paco.
It's called the Tata.
Tata.
Because that's what they say right before they blow you away.
Let me see your tatas. The geography of all of this is unclear to me.
Yeah.
The downside of having camera movement within frame
in
animation is the viewer doesn't know where any of this is supposed to be.
This is Here the come least the segways!
Segway!
Yay! This is the least sounding Star Wars music I've ever heard.
I think this is the tipping point of when it goes from classical to modern. There's a little flavor of it in Clones. There's a little bit of rock guitar in Attack of the Clones, but this is where the modern sound takes over. And you know, with stuff like The Mandalorian now, like I think they passed the gauntlet to 20th century kind of electronic music. I love how this movie revives everything from Phantom Menace that you never wanted to see again, like the robot segways.
Oh. Sky Guy. I'm Sky Guy.
You're Sky Guy, you see? My name has yet to be explained. Excellent. It all fits with my plan.
Yeah, that's
that's what the Siths always say when something goes wrong. Wait, weren't you trying to get her to sign the treaty? Yes, but it works better if she doesn't.
Yeah, right. Ooh.
We've yet to decide whether Palpatine is the galaxy's greatest chancellor or whether he's planned everything. Wait, they're keeping Jabba in a place that looks exactly like Jabba's palace? Just trying to make him feel at home?
Why don't you be louder, dumbass?
He's giving us narrative information. Actually, she's not. They even explain why it looks like Jabba's palace.
I don't trust this robot one bit.
I know. Face value seems to be very helpful.
She's doing more as a Padawan than anybody else ever has. Like Obi-Wan had to just stay on the ship.
That's why they gave her own series.
Yeah.
I love how he said Captain will get the hut and nobody thought to do a crossover promotional campaign with Pizza Hut.
Oh.
At some point. I decided to take an apprentice since I am 90 years old. It's too much work for one man being an apprentice at 90.
That sounded like Christopher Lee to me, though. I'm gonna just file that away for now.
So the reason it looks exactly like Jabba's palace is what they just said about the monastery being a monastery used by smugglers, because that's exactly what happened with Jabba's palace. So you know the spiders in Return of the Jedi, when C-3PO comes to the door and those big spiders walk past him. That they're monks. The brains of monks in a spider body. Just forget it. I don't want to have to explain the whole thing. But that's the reason this looks like Jabba's palace. Tatooine stuff. Jawas.
Jawas.
We come back every week, it seems.
Yeah. I want to get out of here too.
And I say that with no irony, since I'm going to live here one day.
Wait, what? Dooku was with Jabba?
Yep. Well, he's about to...
Oh, that's totally him.
Doesn't it look like
I spy myself with my eye, a little Christopher Lee.
Doesn't it look like someone's put Dooku inside a panel beater? since Attack of the Clones.
No, it looks like they're trying to make him into the most interesting man in the world.
I have sustained a serious head injury since we last met. Why is that relevant? I'm not gonna. It's nearly midday. Why did they say planetary rotation and then just say midday? Before there was Baby Yoda, there was Baby Jabba.
There was Baby Jabba.
What, more than she's already doing?
Yeah, right. Fever.
I know what temperatures huts are supposed to be. That's what you learn in the first week of Jedi training.
Yeah.
How hot is a hut?
Internal temperatures of all creatures.
First lesson you learn. How hot is a hut? See, I don't need Palpatine to concoct elaborate schemes. Can do it all by myself. It's a good job he said out loud, "I hate huts," or that footage would have meant nothing.
Come on, Jabba's supposed to be smart.
Would you fix my head? Something terrible has happened to it.
It's been elongated. Hutlet. Sounds like a terrible candy.
It does. Also, notice the little bassinet he's in? That must be like Filoni reused that for Baby Yoda.
Yeah, the precursor.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely test driving Baby Yoda. Again, seems inessential. Now it's what Star Wars is. Oh, if only I weren't a hologram somewhere else.
Oh.
Good job R2 flew out of the way there. Why do we have to see the battle droids reacting when they die? Doesn't that make you feel more sorry for them?
Well, yeah, all right, get more connected to them.
Yeah, like in The Simpsons.
They really showed a trooper getting blown to bits there.
With a full-on Wilhelm stream to accompany it.
Yeah, totally.
It reminds me of the Simpsons episode with the robots where they take the face off and it screams. He's like, I wish you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you.
The battle droids.
Stupid battle droid.
Useless. It's just the fucking worst. I know we already know that they lose the war and get deactivated, but this only reinforces why. It's the same plan we always use. Have R2 open it.
Now they're finally using these clones like they're supposed to be used.
Get some rest. Now Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks can watch this movie. Lucky them. Wait, which part of that was a quote?
Yeah.
The reading wasn't clear. I hope there's whole episodes that just focus on a couple of battle droids.
Yeah.
Like from their perspective. Let us know in the comments if there is, and I'll watch it. Second string droids. You must have been top of your Jedi class.
Try not to go as slow as you usually go.
Honest, once I was climbing these steps, and I tell you, if it took him a minute, it took him an hour.
Yeah. Every time I hear Roger,
it's never not
me.
funny, is it? It's an airplane joke. It's never not funny because it's an airplane joke. Oh, double-sided lightsaber.
Yep.
Force choke. Next, I'll do lightning. I don't talk to separatist scum. I'll take orders from them, but I won't talk to them. Are we supposed to know who Ventress is?
Yeah.
Why did he say it like we're supposed to know who that is? Do I have to read a comic?
Yep. She looks like she should be on the last voyage of the Meter.
Dracula on Dracula on water.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I think that's the best idea that the Dracula franchise ever had, or the worst. They struggle with pronouns too.
Yeah, right.
We can all relate.
They're doing Police Academy humor.
Any kind of 80s, broad 80s comedy.
Yeah. If only I had some tea.
I'll have a cup of tea and a cake and a good sit down, and then we'll resume.
Wow.
That battle droid went full Jar Jar then. Basically, a battle droid is like a robot Jar Jar, isn't it? Do you think those communicators that the troopers have anything to do with the life force meters in the Ewok movies? Like when it goes down to red, does that mean they're gonna die?
Yeah.
Remember when that little kid's whole family died, and it was represented through a. Too bad we already know lightsabers can get through doors. Really fucked themselves with the Phantom Menace. All for that one cool shot. Unnecessary flying creatures. It's almost like they're trying to distill what went wrong with the prequel trilogy.
Channel it.
Yeah, channel it. Well, unnecessary flying creatures for sure. I basically fly now.
Yeah.
Oh, you all fly eventually.
Mm-hmm. When you said leave that to me, were you just going to go away and not come back?
Leave that to me while you go to your death. That's the bit you didn't hear as he was flying away. I'll leave you with the two-sided lightsaber woman.
And what about R2?
You women can go have a cat fight.
You know how you do.
You do cat fight.
He's going to rocket booster?
Yeah, of course he is, yeah. I mean, you know, we haven't made enough use of this skill that he has. Now
that's because he couldn't do it until the prequels.
He could have done it in the sequels.
True.
Could have just literally, he has so little to do, he could just be flying around the whole time. It would make no difference.
He could have gone out and gotten Leia's body.
Like when they find him sleeping, he could have just been hovering in midair.
Yeah. You know, in the original trilogy, I was never lost on which ships belonged to who.
Slaughtering women and children. And doing it first.
Yeah.
It always takes out the women and children. He always takes out the women and children first. I told him that. I feel like I want to be Al Pacino and Glengarry Glen Ross. Don't open your mouth until you know the deal. You stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Link, your money is safe in the bank.
Yeah, don't worry about it. And we're insured, as you know.
What a great scene. Even with Kevin Spacey, what a great scene.
Yeah, I was going to say, even with Spacey in it.
The fact that Kevin Spacey is getting called all those things kind of makes it worthwhile, if anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you say scrap them?
Scrap them. You know, like when you take them to the scrap yard.
I know, but
on planet Earth.
Oh. In a Christian country like ours. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, can you use it as a verb like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood always wanted Clyde to scrap the caddy.
Okay, I'll take it. That's all you had to say.
Done
Sending the
and
wolf.
done.
Speaking of Sam Jackson and whether it's his real voice or not.
I'm going to say yes. I think it's a yes. His first line it sounded like an impersonator, and then all of a sudden it sounded very Sam. And Sam will do anything.
What's in your wallet?
I just like calling him Sam.
I bet he doesn't appreciate that.
Probably not. Oh, I thought we were going to see one of the camels shit. Or at least fart.
Like follow through. It's like it has to up the ante, so instead of just farting, you just like to see this diarrhea pouring out of it. And by the way, you have something to clear up outside.
Alive.
I fed him beefarino.
Because we're supposed to go down to 2, as you know.
I'm quoting dialogue that hasn't even been written yet. Hey, I'm doing the fingers thing that I first did after this. This is where I got the idea to do the finger thing.
Oh, I'm ready for episode 2 to end.
I love how you have to break it down into episodes just to make it manageable as a viewer. I did exactly the same thing. I was like, oh, we got to be done with episode 2 by now.
Come on.
I got to break it down into units in order to get through it.
I think this hour and 40 minutes is an hour and 59 minutes. I think if this thing is a liar.
Plus, I hate to tell you this, but pretty much everything of note happens in the last half hour.
Okay. Yeah, that ship's got a real swinging dick underneath it. Why is she called Snips now?
Don't know. Is she snippy?
I guess.
How do they know what color he's supposed to be? He's a Hutt baby. Maybe Hutt babies are hot and pale.
That is the proper response. Because you're a clone.
Yeah, don't worry, we're only clowns.
Oh, we got a real kind of Jedi situation here. Return of the Jedi, I mean, you know?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Oh. She dances the salsa. Oh.
I don't imagine Obi-Wan has ever called anyone my darling.
Yeah, I know.
It's like he's gone from extra British to saucy. I don't think so. Last time I have fought a duel like this, it didn't end well with the person with the double lightsaber.
Yeah.
He ended up with robot legs, I hear.
Are we gonna see him?
No. The robot legs episode, I think, is way into Clone Wars.
Okay.
So at this point, we still think Darth Maul is dead. What a time it was to be alive.
Oh, man.
Detach the dick. Detach the dick. It'll give you more. It'll give you some propulsion. It's almost as if they don't want to get those ships that are firing at it.
What, even those guys in the Empire suits are clones?
I know.
When I met him, he was a great pilot. He was already a great pilot.
He got better after I'd known him for about 10, 15 years.
He got better after he stopped doing everything by accident.
That's a good spinning. That's a good trick. You sound like the guy who did the crawl.
Yeah.
What, they're just going to let him in because he's says he's a Skywalker? No clearance codes, anything?
Perhaps they had oh my.
Too late.
Yeah.
Do you think because like they made that mistake and then the ship blew up, is that's why the Empire now have all these security clearance protocols that we see in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, maybe.
This is where they got the idea. Remember when we lost that ship because he said Skywalker and we opened the doors? Let's never do that again.
Obi-Wan scampered up there like a real kitty cat.
I'm a lot more limber in animated form. You can't just jump out of the window like that.
I thought Jedi never ran away.
I just like, well, that and it's just like, if it had been an option to jump out of a window at any point, they would have done it before. At least you're not a slave like me. Oh, by the way, your father sold me into slavery.
Yeah.
It's suddenly a little less dickish in here. Anakin must be gone.
Yeah.
It still works as two lightsabers.
Yeah, those double lightsabers always seem to work when they're busted in half.
Which Obi-Wan should know, given that he's fallen victim to it before. Let's have a deep pan pizza.
Curious. She ran away.
Now, how they thought they'd get away with this ripoff of Star Trek Voyager is beyond me. A medical hologram droid. I mean, that is brazen theft.
Me too. I wouldn't trust that guy at all.
What is the nature of your medical emergency, sir? Take care, sir. I can't believe that they resisted the low-hanging fruit of him saying, "Take care, sir," at the end. Take care, sir. I remember saying on a previous episode that we haven't had toilet humor in Star Wars before, but I forgot we do have burp jokes.
Yeah, right.
Because we've got the burping frog in Jedi.
Yeah.
And with Jabber, I think there's some gas humor, isn't there?
Yeah, he eats that thing and burps.
Wait,
actually,
so
and the Sarlacc pit burps as well.
So the three burping jokes are all within about 10 minutes of each other in the movie. We should have seen it coming.
Burps after it eats and kills Boba Fett, who died.
You know, rule of three.
Until he didn't die.
It took a lot to get him out of there, though.
True.
Do we have to do this in front of all these people? Can I call you back on a private hologram?
Yeah, right. Because we're lying.
Because they always come to Tatooine.
Yeah, where else are they gonna go?
It's always their layover. It's like they get that they book their flight and it's like, oh, we got another layover in Tatooine.
It does please me. Thank you.
I don't know why I'm involved in all this, but okay.
Oh, please. You're going to be there forever. I do not. I do not have to admit that.
I think R2 was like, what, he cuter than me?
Should have gone the rear deflector shield.
Detach the dick. Well, how did how was the Ahsoka show not called Not Now Ahsoka? That would have been the perfect title. Could have had like a jaunty theme tune. She's always asking why you're doing this. Not now, Ahsoka. Da, 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 da. Not now, Ahsoka.
And somewhere in the middle of each episode, she always goes.
One of the great missed opportunities, along with Obi-Wan Private Eye.
Yeah, totally.
Do we have to say one every time there's a line of dialogue? Right?
Oh, the dick.
It's the dick that's slowing us down. Why are you relying on him to do this?
Right.
Not only can he fly now, but he's also apparently
a sniper.
He's basically he's also a good sniper. He's full of hitherto unheard of skills. Did he just do a little fanfare with his radar? How many times in this movie do you think they've tried to get in touch with each other and failed, and then
right.
managed to get in touch with each other? This is where Anakin got the idea to crash land the ship in Revenge of the Sith.
There you go.
Why are Jawas
trying to turn the Jawas into the minions?
Yeah. It's also like, why, like, Jawas, as I understand it, are not like wild animals. They're not just out there in the desert running about like womp rats.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need a glass of water.
Lucas promised to build me a pool if I did this.
And Peter Jackson said he'd build me another pool. So now I have 2 pools.
Yeah. Not Ian.
Think?
Not Ian, I say.
Are you sure?
Yes. Mostly.
Mm.
I'm mostly sure.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Who do you think?
Is that the Queen?
Yeah, well, she's not a queen now. She's a senator. For reasons that have yet to be explained.
She doesn't look anything like her.
Well, she's wearing clothes for one.
This is late.
Well, no, it's the beginning of episode 3.
That's true.
I think you only don't recognize her because she's wearing clothes.
Yeah, you might be right.
I mean, slaughtering women and children, obviously. Did I tell you he told
me
that?
Which I know about that because he told me.
It's the first thing he told me.
And strangely, you would be totally into that.
Before I embraced him.
Is this still part of his master plan? Is he behind all of this?
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand if he's like, oh, Padme's about to come into the room according to my chess game. Ah, here she is, right on cue. Or if it's just like,
I'll send
Padme's
her to the huts and hopefully
she
dies. And if she doesn't, that's great too. It's all part of the plan.
And she's also like, I'll get Jabba to sign the treaty. And I'm like, the Emperor's getting all his Christmas presents at once. He's getting her to sign a treaty and deceiving her. Don't you mean early rotation? Don't mention sand in front of Anakin.
You'll never hear the end of it. It's irritating.
He's going to go on an Andy Rooney style tirade if you mention sand. Here's the thing about sand. I don't like it. It gets everywhere.
Whoa. Did we enter a Sam Spade portion of this episode?
You might think we're going back
like
to Dexter's
Cinemax After Dark.
Pretty much. Yeah, this is after Clone Wars or Clone Wars Nights. Clone Wars Nights.
Clone Wars Nights.
But of course it's the band from the cantina. Why are they on Coruscant? Well, I guess because they're working for a hut. I didn't know that Oogie Boogie Man from the Night Before Christmas was a hut.
This one speaks English.
Well, he lives in Coruscant. So this must be like little Tatooine in Coruscant.
Yeah.
So do the Cantina Band have to keep flying back and forth between Tatooine and here, like everyone else in these movies?
These are their 2 gigs.
You know, we should really find 2 gigs that are closer together.
We're introducing a lot of new characters in this 3rd episode.
Well, you know, we got a whole series to potentially follow up on it.
See, I still kept thinking it was somebody new. She doesn't look like Amidala.
Also, clearly a new episode because this is now Padme's mission.
Mm-hmm.
I do declare.
You know, right?
Yeah. I've always relied on the kindness of strangers.
Oh, but they've always got a dancer. There's always a dancer.
They were talking on Star Wars Minute recently about how George Lucas has an uncomfortable fetish about Twi'leks. Like if he gets a chance, he'll put a Twi'lek in something. And I think it's literally because they're always the sexy dancing girls.
Oh, you're a part of it. You're a part of it. A part of it.
The ones looking at each other going, I forget, are we want rats? Yeah, I think we are. Okay. Were we rump rats before 1997? No.
You talking to the guy who kills women and children? Yeah, I do.
Actually, right there.
Yeah.
You probably see one of the skeletons
I don't
of the
want
women
to
I
talk
murdered.
about my past because I kill women and children in my past.
In a way I knew they wouldn't, but when I first saw this, I thought when he said I don't want to talk about my past, I could have sworn he was going to say I don't want to talk about sand.
Yeah.
Feels like they're queuing him up for that. Wait, is this an elevator or a cage? Little from column A, little from column B.
Let go of my cape.
Why is she dressed in Grace Jones' assassin clothes from A View to a Kill?
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, that hut looks like the French detective in that scene as well. Aubergine. You know that? Do you know what that guy's called in Review to a Kill? The French detective in the Eiffel Tower.
No,
he's called Aubergine. Love that movie.
Oh, me too.
They didn't give a shit. Zero fucks given. And improve your Wi-Fi, will you?
Right?
You're frozen. Don't mute yourself. I'm not Count Dooku. I'm Route Cuckoo.
I was just leaving.
You were wearing a lot less clothes last time I saw you.
Don't worry. I'll set you straight when I see you next time.
I tried to kill you with that critter.
You'll be doing a little midriff thing. It's going to be nice.
Before your boyfriend tamed one of my monsters. And I will celebrate with beignets and Café du Monde.
Yeah, it's like a cross between that and Prince.
53 cents. 53.
It's very purple with lots of neon.
Why does that battle droid have a yellow, what looks like Jar Jar's head?
Yeah.
Twin Sons. Put that in your Star Wars bingo.
There you go.
This is about where I murdered all those women and children.
Yeah. Why is she not dead already?
They shoot this like they forget they're doing a cartoon. It's like shots like that. It's like, you don't have to take so much care. It's a shitty cartoon, guys. Also, this is the second animated film we've ever covered.
Oh, that sounds like Anthony Daniels to me.
He even gets smashed in holographic form. Wait,
did we know about triple moons? He still got that sad bike.
Did we know about triple moons?
He doesn't have the
lightning.
HUD.
Wait, what happened to that third? Oh, okay. That is the... Okay.
There you go.
It's one big moon, two little moons.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of. I was a slave.
Yeah, it might not be a good idea to bring up Anakin's trauma when you're trying to out dark side him in a battle.
Yeah.
And once again, they never mention this confrontation when they fight again in Sith. There's no sense that this ever happened.
Yeah, right.
In the interim.
Well, same with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And Vader, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to get her own series in 10 years' time. And you'll be dead then.
Yeah.
Both on and off screen. R.I.P. Grievous droids.
Yeah.
I don't know why they come out of the ground like tremors.
You know, now I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi feels like it's taking from this.
Yeah,
in its
I agree.
Desert sword fights.
Mm-hmm. Desert sword fights that are never referred to in continuity.
Yeah.
That happened in the in-between movies.
Yeah. Run away. Dakota the Jedi.
He took my sad bike. Now I am happy. So we can add to the list of R2's hitherto unheard of skills, Force Lightning.
Yeah. No, she really went far.
It'd be great if his first words were, "I hate sand."
Yeah. My dad beats me.
He's not a knife man. Continuing his clunky, unfunny throwaway lines.
Yeah, anybody would have come to that conclusion so long ago.
The Senate of New Orleans.
I know, yeah.
I know Mayor Negan.
I mean, the voice isn't the same, but as a bad guy, it's almost exactly like Chief Wiggum's spinoff show.
I guarantee.
I guarantee.
He said I couldn't have any sweet potato pie.
Send out some feelings, dumbass. No.
Don't worry about the spiders. They're just monks with spider bodies. Or at least that's what Tom seems to remember from something he read.
Jabba never mentioned he met Luke's dad.
Yeah, feels like it would have come up. Andy met Obi-Wan, Andy met Yoda.
Yeah.
I threw them into the Rancor pit, which then turned them into a frog, which I ate.
Yeah.
You're doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
Buff.
you're don't you worry about it.
Those straight white men are just hanging out while you do all the work. Punky Muffin.
So I assume this little thing died at the hands of Luke Skywalker? Like he was probably on that barge somewhere?
He was nowhere to be found by that point. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah, what's going on here? Dick move, Jabba.
Those men were trying to kill you. I know, Dad!
I'm secretly married to that asshole over there.
Jabba's like, more holograms.
My bad, Jabba. As will I.
Oh, she did call them trade routes.
She said trade routes. Yeah.
So why did they call them space lanes? Now, I know they're trying to keep their marriage secret, but it's difficult to tell since their chemistry is not that hot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also, I still hate
pun.
you.
And by the way, if at some point my son comes here with a bargain, you better accept it.
Everything always is coming into focus for the Sith.
I don't know if that helps the case that the Emperor is playing Dooku this entire time, because it's just not established. Like, he definitely portrays him in Sith, but has he been portraying him all along?
I don't know.
It's unclear.
I don't know that this deserves the epic music we're getting.
The strains of John Williams music.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty hardcore one shot there too.
Wow.
And a circle wipe. There you go.
Well, boy, if that was ever 3 episodes of a TV show.
TV show. Executive producer George Lucas. He begins his drift away from Star Wars, the ship.
Yeah.
The music you're hearing now, John Williams.
Yeah. That guy good, Kevin was John like, Williams. I can punch this up.
Kevin Kiner.
According to Tom, it's only one song anyway, so I can outdo it. Oh, wait, I'm seeing names. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, there they are. I was going to say Sam, Anthony, and Christopher Lee.
Yeah. You got it. You got it already.
All right. Oh.
We get spaghetti western hoo-has.
Yeah.
I guess they're already folding in the spaghetti western style scoring of The Mandalorian here. Tell you, Filoni master plan from the beginning.
Telling you. How much money did this movie make?
None. None more money.
See if I can. Let me look it up.
There's a lot of animators called Chang, Wang, and Chen. There's also an animator called Milk Wang.
All right then, sir.
I think Milk Wang is a good synonym for a cow's teat. Just pull on those milk wangs.
Let's see.
Additional dialogue by Tim Burns. Do you think Tim Burns came up with all the sick burns?
Budget 8.5 billion. 35 million in the US, 68 million worldwide.
It's like the lowest grossing ever.
Yeah, but you know, not a huge tragedy. Made money.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Here's a good note. This guy, Matt Lanter, who plays Anakin.
Yeah.
When he auditioned, he was told he was reading for the part of Deke Starkiller and to play him as a cross between Luke Skywalker and Han Solo.
Additional animation by Lucasfilm Animation Singapore. Now, given George Lucas's record on unions, I don't think that's a good sign. I think that's There's some cheap labor going on.
Oh, read the official novels.
It's already a spin-off, so they're gonna do a literary spin-off of a spin-off. Where does it all end?
It doesn't. Look at that.
This is Jawa's fighting over the Lucasfilm animation logo. It's like a misfired attempt to do something as iconic as the Pixar logo.
Yeah, it really, that was craziness.
There you go. And the rest is just going to be international dubbing.
It's the international what we have to deal with at the end of movies now.
Yeah. So you're like, it's like, why is this movie finishing so early? Oh, that's because there's 20 minutes of which Danish voice actor dubbed this over. Well, there you go.
I'll say
that is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
All right.
E-I-E-I-O. For the Beat Poetry version.
Oh man, well said.
What did you think?
I mean, it's stupid. But
it's very stupid.
Yeah.
How do we even evaluate something like this? Like,
yeah, it's weird because it's so clearly 3 episodes and not a real movie.
Mm-hmm. Would it have even worked as a TV pilot though? That's what I'm struggling with. Because you wouldn't watch the next episode.
There'd be no reason to do that.
But you're more likely to keep going. I mean, I never give a series more than 3 episodes. If there's not something to like after 3 episodes, I won't go on.
Yeah, you're a meanie.
That's why I initially disregarded Andor.
Right.
And then so many people told me that it only got good in episode 6. And first of all, I'm just like, well, it's not my fault.
That's 1, and aren't there only 6 episodes?
No, there's like 12.
All right, fine.
But
I forgot that's one of the long ones.
Mm-hmm.
Usually Disney Plus, you're like, oh, 6 episodes.
But certainly, I mean, I can't imagine going to see this at the theater and the adverse reaction I'd have, especially after like mixed feelings about the prequel trilogy.
My feelings weren't mixed.
Well, my feelings were mixed, but like most people are like you, they just outright hated it. And then here's this shitty 3D animated kids TV pilot, which doubles down on everything that everyone hated about the prequels. Well, no wonder it did so badly.
Yeah.
But like, why were they I mean, like, why were they trying to spin this as a Star Wars theatrical release? Normally they do that afterwards when they've tried everything else. Like with the Ewoks movies, they eventually release it into theaters, but it begins as a TV movie. Mm-hmm. Here they've done the opposite of that.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Especially since you purposefully did not make a movie. So it seems that, these are the first 3 episodes of a television series. How much time is between this and when the other Clone Wars?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Clone Wars for that, but it was pitched and sold as a TV series. I know that much. Because famously, George Lucas went to the networks and he started his pitch by saying, now, this isn't what you're looking for. This isn't going to be like real Star Wars. It's like, fucking hell, George. So you want these people to buy it? He was like, I don't want to mislead you. This is not going to be good.
That's great.
This is, for kids.
See, it's weird to me that he would even make that argument because he's so... like the good bad argument doesn't seem to apply to him for him about the prequels,
right? And it's like he already made a movie for kids. It's called The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, right.
But this is, I guess, Phantom Menace is a split address. It's there's something for the kids and then there's something for the grown-ups. Whereas here, it's just there's nothing for the grown-ups. And to the point where, you know, they can't even do an opening crawl because their target audience is too young to read.
It's too much. We'll have a voiceover.
Yeah, which I like. I mean, at least they keep it in the spirit of that matinee serial.
Yeah.
Like old-timey
But
radio.
they're also showing it amongst so much action that it's hard to, like, listen. You want to...
Yeah.
You know, you can only do one or the other. You can listen or watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that opening crawl was there for a reason. Like, it was, that's why we read it very slowly,
right?
So we could absorb it all. You know, it's tried and tested. Don't mess with it.
Yeah,
but you got to do something when your demographic is pre-literate.
But even because they went with, instead of Star Wars, Clone Wars, and that's receding, it makes me think that Rogue One didn't have the first idea first.
This is what I mean. Like, it's a movie that has turned out to be more important than initially seemed.
Yeah,
because of everything that's happened since then.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting to, because I remember passing a movie theater that was showing this, and even as someone who enjoyed the prequels, I was just like, oh my god! I mean, I'm not going to subject myself to this.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. And I think I made the right choice. Like, you know, it just doesn't it would not benefit from being projected on a big screen in an
it might even make it worse.
Yeah. So we're saying bad, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
But it kind of might lead to a good TV series, but at this point it's not even a good TV.
I'm trying to put myself in the place of a very young child. And I guess, you know, a young kid would probably dig it. A 6-year-old.
Yeah. But again, it's that the Phantom Menace problem. It's like, yeah, it's like a kid would probably like Jar Jar, but it's not just Jar Jar, isn't it? They have to sit through Senate protocols and trade disputes, and this has got a little bit of that as well, where it's like it's at times it's just not moving fast enough, even for kids.
Yeah, maybe.
They're still talking about trade routes or space lanes, or whatever the current nomenclature is, for areas of space apparently controlled by Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, I like space lanes.
I mean, I'm trying to think
of what space lanes are the center of the galaxy.
What's the equivalent of that?
Well, it doesn't
Sam
even...
Giancano owns the Suez Canal. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like,
you know, it doesn't really make any sense, because anybody seems to be able to fly in and out of a planet in any way, shape, or form that they want.
As long as you bring your own parking spot.
Yeah, the only space lanes you can think of is on Coruscant, where there's all those fucking ships all over the place. And, you know, Attack of the Clones pretty much blows that out of the water, because you could fly anywhere you want to, so long as you're chasing an assassin.
Yeah. It looks from the it felt like, you know, it was very cynically put together. The story was very cynically put together, of like, Jedi's blah blah blah, Jabba the Hutt blah blah blah. They're like that's how it felt like it was formulated, because it's like, why would you go to, like, of all the Star Wars legacy characters to go to in a story about the Clone Wars, why would you go to Jabba the Hutt?
Right.
Unless you just wanted to crowbar in Jabba the Hutt to your story.
Well, that's the thing, is that the way Star Wars seems to work now, and this might be the beginning of it, is they seem hell-bent on giving you what they think you want, which is legacy characters.
Yeah.
Wedged into a story in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
When we don't need that.
Well, unless it sort of comes up somewhat organically, and
no, yeah,
this really doesn't. Like, it's, I guess, and again,
well,
it makes me think of Rogue One and the droid cameos and the Walrus Man on another planet doing exactly the same thing with Dr. Edigan. It's like it's like you
but
can't
the biggest problem is they seem to with the prequels and this movie, they seem to do things and it's not even done. We talked about Obi-Wan Kenobi too, where they force a story to go places that clearly the characters that we watch that take place after this, they never comment on it because it did not happen.
Yeah.
And these things are telling us that they did happen, and it's just weird that it's a flawed bit of storytelling that they keep doing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Why not tell a story that conspicuously avoids breaking that canon?
Yeah.
But like you say, they're actually leaning into the stories that make it harder to appreciate it as one coherent storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Because retrofitting in all the Padawan master stuff, I mean, it's the basis of Clone Wars, but as far as I can tell, is that sort of Padawan relationship. But what? So he's just like, fuck you, Ahsoka, I've got to go off and rescue the Emperor, and just forgets to get back in touch with her. Like, how does their relationship end?
Yeah.
Not that he's called the Emperor at that point. But,
no, but there's no sense of.
But he's got the chair.
Right. There's no sense of her existing in Sith, so it's weird that she's here, because that's where you place this movie between.
Isn't she briefly in either Sith or Clones? I think I saw her maybe in the Geonosis battle.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'm being speciesist. I saw her in Ahsoka. Just like and I saw a Greedo.
Yeah.
And a sand person. And where does this stand in relation to all the other Star Wars movies we've looked at?
You mean ranking?
Yeah, because we've ranked. Let's put the sequels aside for now. Let's just think of what we've done. I mean, where would you put this? I mean, we've got the original trilogy up on a pedestal, I think.
Yeah,
both of us.
I mean, it's obviously those are above. So it's really, where does it lie within the prequels?
And the holiday special and the Ewoks.
Oh.
And potentially Solo, because we have covered it, so we've already said what we thought about it.
Well, it's not above Solo.
No.
Is it above the holiday special? Maybe it is.
I don't think it is.
The holiday special is
it's way less inventive than the holiday special.
It's a special piece of bad, though.
Special piece of bad, but it's got way more ideas. It doesn't have lazy ideas like this.
It has crazy ideas.
Great, crazy ideas, some of which have potential, whereas all of this just feels like everything's crowbarred in for the easiest possible version of this story.
Yeah, even Sith is better than this.
Oh, you mean Revenge of the Sith?
By far.
Way better, yeah. Oh, I mean the original trilogy, I would put the prequels next, and then like the second Ewok movie.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars Holiday Special, first Ewok movie.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll put both the Ewok movies above this.
Right at the bottom.
Well, all right then.
So I think it's the worst of all the illegitimate offspring as well. And Solo is, as I've already said, is between the original trilogy and the prequels for me.
Oh, I put it above the prequels.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. Oh, between. Okay. I see.
Yeah. Solo is
Good.
I think I've said it before. Solo is
That's your favorite, yeah.
my favorite non-original trilogy Star Wars film.
It's not mine.
Attack of the Clones is just after that.
Okay.
And then there's a big gap, and then it's Madness. So we'll see where the sequels fit in.
Right. Someday. All right. Well, anything left for you on what the what is it? Star Wars, the Clone Wars?
Star Wars, the Clone Wars. Well, it's kind of, I mean, like the very kind of final observation is that I think from what you've been saying and from what I was thinking, everything seems very wedged in.
Mm-hmm.
And even the movie itself is wedged in between television and cinema.
Yeah, right.
And it's like a TV series that's yet to become good, and the sort of table scraps,
or even started, really,
or even or the table scraps of a trilogy that is already derided,
mm-hmm.
and it's sort of like the worst of both worlds colliding to form this. I mean, it would put me off watching Clone Wars, except that everything I've read sort of said, you just have to ignore this and then start watching,
and then start fresh,
and it'll start improving drastically.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about watching an animated Star Wars series, though. I guess that's the other factor here. It's like,
because there's a bunch, right? Like there's Bad Batch and Tales of Jedis, and there's Rebels, and
this is another thing that's changed. It's like, I don't think when the Clone Wars started, during its run, we were supposed to take it as canon, but because of all that's been made subsequently, referring back to that, now we are inclined to think of it as canon rather than just a spin-off cartoon. Like, is Droids canon? Nobody ever claimed Droids was canon. Even though it features the two of the biggest legacy characters,
the droids we care about,
and is actually good. It's like, it's like Rockford Files for kids. It's great.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I watched a couple of episodes with my son, and I enjoyed it more than he did, but that's because it was like made for my generation. Who are obviously like probably the people who couldn't get jobs riding on the A-Team or something. Because I was all like, I'm sure I've seen an A-Team that's just like this.
So they had trouble spelling jibber jabber.
It's like spec script for the A-Team, slap on a couple of droids.
Yeah, but just add some Force will be with you.
And I'm perfectly content with that.
Yeah.
But that's strange now that, like, I hear Star Wars commentators or like people discussing Star Wars, saying, referring back to these things as kind of precedent, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Makes you uncomfortable.
But I think we'll be in a position soon where we won't have any choice but to do that, because it's the only way we'll be able to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
I think that's the change that's coming.
All right.
And I don't remember if I said it on mic or not, but like I read the announcement that Disney made at Star Wars Celebration about the movies they were going to make, and I didn't understand what they were talking about. Like in the stuff about the High Republic and then Rey's movie, I was like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, I genuinely don't know what you're talking about anymore. And it was really disturbing, because I was like I've fallen out of the bottom of Star Wars fandom through not keeping up with the materials that are being produced.
Wow.
And that shouldn't, to me, it's a bunch of movies, right? It's a bunch of stuff that happened.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just watching that stuff. I don't need to be told to watch something else so I can enjoy this.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe that's my thing, but
no, I agree with you on that.
I don't need it's like, It's like when they send you you sign up for something and send you a code to unlock it. It's like, why do I have to do this on another device? Right. It's like the same, but with Star Wars media. I'm just like, I was like, well, I got to read this comic before I can even understand who this guy is.
Once you read the comic, you can there'll be a code at the end. You can download the link to this other book, and then once you read that book, the book will tell you which episode in season 3 of Clone Wars to watch, and then that will send you to the Bad Batch. Yeah. You just have to watch the last episode and the second to last episode in that season, and then go over there to Star Wars Rebels, and you'll be able to get the one character that will help you with this new thing you want to watch.
And then a link will take you to all the remaining scenes from Rise of Skywalker that tell you what actually happened in the movie.
Yeah, right after that, you're good. You're good to
go.
After
that, you're fine. Yeah. After that, all you have to do is rewatch everything again so you can understand it.
Yeah.
Chronologically, not release order.
No, of course. Don't be ridiculous. All right. That's it?
That's it from me.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have anything else.
No. Just to let our audience know, we'll be back in another
couple of months.
Yeah.
I am very excited about our next watch along.
Ooh, I can't wait to know what it is. I can hardly wait. I can wait. I'll have no choice.
Yeah, because I don't think you know offhand what it is, but it's a very important.
I accept no responsibility for this.
That's great.
I show up completely unawares.
Yeah. Well, not completely unawares. You knew we were watching. You knew we were.
Yeah, but I never watch beforehand
But at the moment, all we're doing is Star Wars, so it's basically it's me. I'm Lucille Bluthing you. It's just like go see a Star War, basically at this point.
Only there was a war in my Star Wars.
You turn on your Zoom and you're just like, let me guess, Star Wars. But no.
I guess I should go to Disney Plus.
Not this time. No, you won't be going to Disney Plus this time.
All right.
Do you want me to tell you what streaming service you'll be going to as a tease?
Oh, sure.
Max. I nearly said HBO Max then. Don't go to X, formerly Twitter.
Very good.
Go to Max, formerly HBO Max.
Max.
Honestly, it is. It could be an all-time Hall of Famer for us.
Ooh, I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Well, look forward to that, everyone. If you want to tell us what you think of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, you're gonna have to find us on Facebook or the media giant formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, we might not by the time this. Well, we'll probably still be there by the time this goes out. But if you're watching this in the dystopian future, hopefully we got out of there before things got hairy.
Yeah, there you go. So you can find us on that hellscape.
The end times. Yes.
You can find us on the hellscape Facebook or Instagram. Send us an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. That's it for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Thank you for joining us. As always, it's a good time. Mm-hmm. Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
Not now, Ahsoka.
You're right. It does have a lot of very vaudevillian kind of humor.
Yeah.
The jokes lay there.
Over to the dark side. No, Ahsoka. No, Ahsoka.
Who failed who?
The whole planet's one big city. Not now, Ahsoka.
I wonder if she had to go into hiding.
In my version, Rick Ollier is also in this sitcom.
Fantastic. I'd like to see Larry stop by from Three's Company.
Sure. Or C.O. Bibble as well.
Yeah.
Getting a pie in the face. Yeah, see the neighbors.
All right, everybody. Take care, and thank you for watching.